Hi everyone, welcome back to Data Solution. I hope you are doing very well. In this video, we are going to explore one of the unique and powerful feature of KQL in Kusto Query Language, that is ability to visualize data directly from our queries. So in KQL, if you already perform some operation on your data set, now you would like to actually see data as a chart or graph, you can do that using a special keyword called render. Here is the syntax. We need to use here pipe operator, then use here render keyword and then type of chart. Okay. So instead of just returning row table, we can generate interactive visualization inside a query output. So let's take an example. Let us suppose we want to visualize our data from a stock table. We want to visualize average closing price by ticker column. Okay. So how to visualize? Simply write here stock as a data source, which is our table, and then we need to use here summarize, to use here group by function or average. Let me use here average closing price as a alias name of, and then use here function which is average, and then use here column closing price by ticker column, okay, which is symbol of company. And now let me execute this return as a table ticker column and average closing price. Okay, now let us suppose I want to visualize this data set as a visual. So let me use here pipe operator, then use here render keyword, and now let me suppose I want to visualize as a bar chart. So simply write here bar chart and simply execute, and you can see here as a bar chart in output. Okay, now let me suppose I want to use here instead of bar chart, I want to use column chart. So simply write here instead of bar chart, let me copy this query and write here, and simply write here column chart. So first delete and now write here column chart and let me execute, and you can see here this data set as a column chart. Okay, so bar chart and column chart are used to compare value across many categorical column. Okay, now different visualization expect different type of data. Bar chart and column chart work well with categorical comparison, but if you want to look at data across time, then we use time chart is a right choice. Okay, so since stock data is often time based, so let's try here time chart. Okay, so let me suppose we want to see how the closing price of a stock over time. So how to calculate? Let me calculate here stock. Right here stock, I want to calculate only for ticker symbol which is equal to Microsoft. So what is the Microsoft symbol? MSFT. Okay, now let me project here column name. I want suppose I want to use here date column and closing price column on date day, and let me visualize with time chart. So let me use here render keyword and simply write here time chart. Okay, we need to use here comparison operator instead of single equal. Okay, and now let me execute. Now you can see simply here time chart in query editor output, and this can be also switch back to table as a data table, and you can also switch to statics. Okay, this is very interactive to switch here. And now let me suppose I want to show here visualization. Okay, this make KQL very interactive. We can move between data table and visualization seamlessly. Okay, now that we have seen how to visualize data using render keyword, now let's take one step further. And in many real world scenario, we often need to combine data from multiple tables. This is where join come into play. So in next video, I will show you how to join data in KQL to combine data effectively. So that's all about in this video. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe the channel and like this video. If you have any question, feel free to ask using comment box. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.